The devil has come to Savo.
Oh, you're right. The devil has come to Savo. Look at me. I am the devil.
Hello, everybody. I'm John.
I'm Justin.
And we're the Gore
Goblins.
This is our show.
Yeah.
Where we talk about
Did you forget it was our show?
movies we like
And some we don't.
and some we've never heard of.
Or seen before.
And this week,
This week.
we're looking at a movie that Justin picked. So I'm going to let him introduce it.
Yeah. It's technically not a horror movie, but you got to cheat, so I'm going to cheat.
Take it away, Justin.
I already took it away.
Well,
and
take
I'm
it
never
away
giving
again.
it back.
Take it away again.
Give it away now.
Okay, just say the fucking name of the movie.
Okay, the movie is The Ghost and the Darkness. It's about fucking lions that are just menaces to society. They were
Yeah.
the inspiration for Resident Evil 5.
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Chris and Sheva represent the lions.
I don't think that's I don't think that's how that's supposed to work.
I don't know. My
I'll
brain's
take
a
it,
weird place. But yeah, the main stars of this movie are Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. And it was made in 1996.
Yeah.
So, since it's my pick, you have to do the initial reaction. What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay. So I was telling Justin, I think it's another one of those movies that kind of feels like it's two ideas pushed together. So you have like this half of the movie is about Val Kilmer trying to build a bridge to connect people. Because he's a bridge builder. He's Sam Porter Bridges from Death Stranding, basically, is what he is. But, and then the other half of the movie, like literally at the halfway point when Michael Douglas comes in, the other half of the movie is like this fucking Pitch Black style fucking action thriller where they're trying to hunt these two lions. And those parts I liked a lot. I mean, I think it works well together. But I do really wish it was just kind of more of the pulpy lion hunting shit. But that being said, I still liked it. I had a good time with it. Michael Douglas is my favorite part of it because he's Michael Douglas. Val Kilmer does a pretty good Irish accent, I think. And I like big cats, so I liked the lions. Yeah, based on a true story. There's a few differences that I want to go into when we start talking about, like later on when we talk about it.
I forgot them all.
But there's a few differences here and there. I mean, all in all, it's a pretty good, fictionalized retelling of two lions that were basically just fucking serial killers. They didn't do it for food. They did it just 'cause. And to this day, nobody knows why
Nope.
these two lions were like this. There's theories, but nobody knows exactly why that this happened. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Tom Wilkinson's in it too as a piece of shit, fucking capitalist pig,
Yep.
and he
Mr.
plays
Beaumont.
he plays that role very well. And you don't see a lot of the gore effects. But they're very good. Like they're really good. There's some pretty good practical effect work here. And yeah, I had a good time with it. I thought it was pretty good. What about you, Justin?
Well,
Since you picked it, I'm assuming you like it.
I've been watching this movie since I was like 6 or 7 years old. So
Wow.
It's been a while.
So it's one of those that's like burned into your memory.
It's like
huh?
I've watched it when I didn't understand shit, and then when I grew older and watched it again, I had a better appreciation for it because I understood shit they were saying
Yeah.
to a better extent than, oh, lions attack people, guns go off, this is exciting.
Oh, and there's legitimately some pretty cool like sequences in this movie.
Oh yeah, the music, the way
music
it's shot.
So the funny thing about the music is it kept reminding me of like I kept thinking it was gonna do the Terminator 2 theme because it would be like this doo doo doo, and then it would go to another place. I'd be like, that's. I keep thinking it's gonna be fucking Terminator 2, but no, it's so the music's really good though. That being said, the music's great. The editing's really good. The sound editing's great too. I think it won an Oscar for sound editing actually, but yeah, there's and like I said, there's some really cool sequences and shots in this movie. I know which one's my favorite, and I'll get to it. I'll talk about it when we get to it. But yeah, it's very good.
So I'm gonna describe the entire movie best to my memory. So,
good luck.
Good luck.
Now you'll know how hard it is. Well, you've done it before.
Well, I've done it before.
I know.
We took turns on the Halloween movies.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
All right, so the movie, it starts with a voiceover from the one character that you meet later on named Samuel. He's like the camp kind of go-to guy when John gets to the building site for the bridge. So yeah, then he introduces John Patterson, the main dude who's gonna go build the bridge, and he's meeting that douchebag guy Beaumont to get his job. And just coincidence, Africa's been a place that Patterson's always wanted to go to. So he's like, fuck yeah, I'll take it, even though my wife's about to have a baby. And then I like that line with Beaumont says, I don't give a shit about your upcoming litter.
Yeah, he's just, Beaumont's such an asshole. He's so good at being a dick. That's Tom Wilkinson, baby. That's that Michael Clayton magic.
So yeah, he takes the job and is like, oh, well, I don't want to leave because it's our first baby. But his wife's like, no, go or you'll regret this. And, you know...
And me and our son
we'll come visit you.
We'll come visit you because she's so sure she's having a boy.
She's hopeful.
Yes.
So then you get that cool little shot of him walking into the steam of the train.
And then it's like a transition to him coming out in Africa, right?
Yeah. When he arrives, and when he arrives, he meets Angus, the dude he's a missionary, and he's like the least annoying religious dude I've ever seen.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that like, yeah, we're gonna make the natives work and people from India as well, but we're also gonna try to convert them to Christianity while they're there, because that's how it works. That's what people do.
Oh well, that was also one of Beaumont's lines, to save Africa from the Africans.
Yeah,
fucking
and
asshole.
And I'm just like, you're such a fucking dick, dude. It's like, oh my god.
So yeah, Angus shows John around, and then they get on another train to go to the site where the construction's being done. And on the way, John's just like spouting off all this knowledge about animals, and Angus is like, "Man, you know shit that I don't even know, and I've been here longer."
Yeah, that's how you know he really loves Africa.
Yeah, because he was like, "I've only been here 48 hours, but I've been longing for this all my life." And then you just get a bunch of those cool shots while they're still riding the train, and the music's all uplifting and cool. And
pretty sure it was shot on location too. So, because I think Val Kilmer actually had a fondness for Africa, and that's why he took the role, because he knew they'd be in Africa.
So yeah, then they arrive at their destination, which is a place called Savo. And if that word sounds familiar to Halo players, that's the name of a mission, Savo Highway.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which is also very annoying, and the name fits that stage, too, when I tell you later what that name means, according to Samuel. Which now John meets after Angus is like, I gotta go do some shit, come meet me at the hospital. So then, Samuel starts telling John about all the problems because they got the Muslims and the Indians and the Hindus all working together, but they all fucking hate each other. And John's like, well, maybe I can help. I've dealt with both religions. Maybe I can like put some positivity going. And he's like, well, you can try. But nothing works here because Savo is the worst place in the world. And he stands by that and never changes his opinion, even after all this shit. So yeah, he goes and inspects the bridge site and is like looking at it, and didn't realize it was going to be as hard as it's going to be to do this, but he's committed. So then they go to the hospital like Angus asked him to, and they meet the doctor, who's also a prick. Well, he's a prick, but also in a good way, I guess, because he hates the fact of what's going on there, but he went just to be a doctor to them, so... Then he tells John that a lion attacked somebody earlier in the day, and he's like, oh, well, maybe I'll just go sort this out tonight. And then fucking Angus gets all excited and is like, oh, I want to go watch. Then he gets a cramp while sitting in the tree, and he starts bitching.
Yeah, classic Angus, honestly.
He's like, I'm gonna go deal with this cramp in my tent, and he's like, you'll be dead before you get to the tent. The lion will eat you.
Yeah, and it almost does.
Almost. Well, not that one.
I know.
So they fall asleep, and fucking Angus falls out of the tree, and the lion starts fucking running. John shoots it, and bam, one shot, kill the lion.
Yeah.
Good job.
Hell yeah, dude.
He said, "Fuck that lion."
He gets it in one shot, and they start calling him one shot or some shit,
Yep.
if I remember right.
MLG Pro, the original.
MLG, yeah, he did it.
This is where FaZe Clan started.
He jumped out of the tree, did a 360, and just
Boom, got him.
got the little hit marker. That's what happened.
So yeah,
Watch the
then,
movie if you don't believe me. That's
yeah.
what happened.
Then everyone's all happy because they're like, "All right, this dude's willing to risk his life for us. So you know what? We're gonna work super hard with him." So they start laying everything down. You get introduced to a character for a few minutes named Mahina. He's just like, well, as Patterson says, just a marvel of a man because he's like, his strength is ridiculous and the way he moves people is just inspiring. But well, he's saying all that in a letter to his wife.
Yeah, we get a scene.
A scene. And then it's there's the first really cool scene where that I like where they first put those two big fucking giant metal pieces down onto the bridge, and then John and Mahina are having a conversation about killing the lion, and he tells him, "Oh, I killed a lion too." And Angus is like, "Well, how many shots did it take you?" And he's like, "I used my hands."
Yeah, he's like, I use my hands, and then the wind blows. The
Yeah.
winds of change.
And it does. They look out into the grass, and it just looks so fucking cool. And the music at that part is just it's just always stuck in my head. And just they say so much just from looking at each other during that whole scene. It's like,
Yeah, and you
So
can see the lion creeping around if you look close enough.
yep, it's like a fucking shark.
Yeah.
So then they're all going to sleep, and poor Mahina gets dragged out of his tent. The fucking lion just carries him away and destroys him.
Yep.
So then John starts trying to get this lion, and every time he goes out at night, he's not successful, and now everyone's scared because if someone like Mahina couldn't protect himself, what hope did the rest of them have?
Mahina tried though. He was
He was fighting, but the fucking lion jumped over the thorn bushes with him and fucked him up.
Yep. And then this is one of those parts where like the practical effects are really good because they find them when they find buzzards eating them.
Yeah.
And you get like really quick shots of the buzzards eating them, and I'm just like, damn, that looks good. That looks fucking real, and that's good. I like that. I like shit like that. Makes me happy.
Yeah, and then they took the body to the doctor so he could like analyze the situation of what happened. And the way the doctor sees it is the lions didn't eat him in a normal way because they left a lot.
Yeah.
They kind of just tore him up and drank blood and then went away. And he was like, "Well, are you sure a lion did this? Because this just looks fucking weird." So yeah, John keeps trying to hunt the lion, but he can never find them. But over the course of the time, more people keep dying, so everyone's getting pissed off. And one of the leaders of the group, Abdullah, starts getting all up in his face about it and all this shit.
Yeah, because he's like, my men don't want to work because they're afraid of the fucking lions. Like,
Well, first he lies and just says it's a malaria outbreak.
oh yeah, that's right. But it's because they don't want to work around the lions. Because if you got a lion eating people,
Yeah.
fuck that. I wouldn't want to work that either.
And then John's like, "Y'all don't have to worry. I'll take care of the lions and I'll build the bridge and everything will be okay." And then Abdullah's like, "Well, of course, you're white. You can do anything."
Yeah,
I love that part.
it's a really good line. I mean, but yeah, no, but then John takes offense to that, and he's just like, no. He's
It'd be
like,
unwise to work together on this.
yeah, we have to work together on this. And, you know, what does he say? He says something about how, like, so if you want, you can go ahead and go back home to and tell all the wives and children of the men
That's
that were
later
killed.
on.
Oh, I thought that was there when Beaumont's showing up, right?
No, that's after he tries a little more to confront the lions.
Okay. That's a good line too, though.
Then that's before first major death happens. Well,
Yeah.
second. So yeah, they're all getting pissy because everyone's getting attacked, and then Samuel's like, "Well, we can take the thorn bushes and build fences out of them, and then keep fires burning because that keeps the lions away." So John puts half people on doing that, and the other half keep building the bridge. So you get a little construction montage and doing all this. Then you get a little intimate moment with John, Samuel, and Angus at the camp saying like, "Man, what a good week." Because nobody got killed. Is like, no, because we all work together. Which is, and then they kind of play around with him being a missionary. Say, oh, here he comes. He's going to start preaching to God about us, that God made this all possible.
Is that the bit too where he's talking about how he likes getting his hands dirty?
Yeah.
He likes the blood on his
He
hands.
likes the blood.
Which I can relate to because that's why I play drums without gloves because I like the pain is part of it, man. It's part of the art.
And his mom told him to always be careful with his hands because she wanted him to play piano, but he was tone deaf. So.
But he was tone deaf, yeah. That's I really like the one thing I do like about the movie is the character development a lot. Like, I feel like all the dialogue is pretty natural, and it's just dudes shooting the shit, you know. And you learn a lot about these characters, which makes some events more impactful than I expected, you know. But we're getting to that. Don't worry.
Yep. So then there's a good little bit of how Angus is not going to rest until he converts them. And John says his dad's a Catholic and his mother's a Protestant or something. And then Samuel's like, I have four wives.
Yeah,
Good
that's
luck.
a really good line too. There's that gets kind of expanded on later in another joke that's really funny. But yeah, he's like, I have 4 wives.
Yeah, so then they all go to bed, and another day happens, and Samuel brings John a letter from his wife, and he's like, oh, you like her very much? And he's like, yeah, I really do like her. And I don't like any of mine.
Yeah, I don't like any of mine. God, that's so good.
So while John's reading the letter, the lion decides to start bringing the noise without the funk. And so he just starts fucking people up left and right.
That's when he attacks during the day, right?
Yeah, when he came during the day.
This is the part that's one of my favorite bits because, yeah, they all start running at him, right?
Yeah.
And then John, Angus, and Sam are posted up.
Yep.
And then you get that shot of the lion silhouetted by the sun on top of the fucking building. And I remember I was like, "Holy shit!"
Well, yeah, that's when you learn there's lion number 2.
And you get that shot through his sunglasses, and I'm like, dude, that's so fucking cool. And yeah, that's when you find out there's 2 of them, and it's just like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then that lion jumps down, and then what happens, Justin?
The lion jumps, he slashes John's arm, but fucking destroys Angus's throat, and that gore looked really fucking cool.
Yeah, look, it's a very good practical effect. And then John says a little Catholic prayer for him.
Oh, dude.
After he dies, because John's a good man. He's Irish. He's a good man.
So then you get a little bit of like some time passes before Beaumont's coming to check on the progress.
Yeah.
And this is where Abdullah's being like, okay, we're all fucking leaving. Fuck you. Is like, come on, don't leave. If he sees this mess, y'all are all gonna lose your job. And it's like, oh, well, you're gonna lose your job too, and that's all you care about.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he fucking talks some shit to Abdullah, saying, you know, you lack the courage to lead, so yeah, go home, go to the families and the wives of the men who've died here, and tell them you couldn't stay.
Yeah, they died for nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And then Beaumont shows up.
And then he's like, oh, I got some Bibles for Angus. Where's he at? And then he's like, oh, here he comes. There's a box.
He's in the fucking box, yeah.
So then John breaks down the situation to Beaumont's, and it's like, well, here, I got this idea. I'm a sit in this train car with this kind of trapdoor cage thing, and the lion's going to walk in and trip the wire and get stuck in here, and I'm going to be face to face, and there's nothing he can do. And then Beaumont just thinks he's fucking stupid for coming up with that.
He's like, yeah, did it work? And he's like, in the point of fact, it did not. and
he's
I like
convinced
that
the theory is sound. And then Beaumont's leaving, and he's like, fuck this, I'm gonna find this dude named Remington. He's like, I assume you know who he is. And he's like, yeah, anyone who's hunted knows about him.
Yeah.
So he goes off, and he's like, okay, well, you can still keep the job, but only because it'd be too long to find a replacement.
Yeah, because Beaumont's a fucking dick.
So John spends a few nights in his little box car, but he can't keep doing it because he's got to save his energy to work on the bridge. So he gets 3 of the workers to show him their shooting skills, or lack thereof, considering what happens.
Yeah.
He's watching them shoot, and he's like, oh, y'all are good. He's like, oh, yeah, we've been hunting since we were kids. And he's like, nah, you're thieves, killers, butchers. And he's like, that's a good thing. So those 3 post up in the box car. They're chilling. Lion walks in, trips the wire, and you think, cool, stick the barrel through the thing and shoot him. No.
Nope.
Lion starts getting aggressive. They all fucking panic. They start shooting at him, but miss every single fucking shot. And the scenes right there are really cool too, with the lion in the fire and him roaring, and all the zoom in on his mouth and all that.
He's breaking down the fucking bars, basically.
Yeah.
Shit is insane, dude.
And then that one really loud roar, and they all cover their ears, and they're just screaming along with it. And then the quiet moment where they're just sitting there staring at the lion's staring back at them, and the fire is like reflected in the lion's eyes, and it just looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it's a very cool shot.
And then so the next morning, John's fucking pissed because he's like, it worked, and y'all couldn't just fucking hit him. It's like, what did you expect him to do, pose for you?
I like that bit a lot too.
And then Abdullah's had enough at this point, so he starts threatening John and getting everyone to surround him and get in his face. And then we get to meet Charles Remington, which is Michael Douglas in this movie.
My boy.
He shows up, he immediately puts a flintlock pistol to Abdullah's head and is like, get all these fuckers back.
We doing this.
Yep. Do you want this? It's okay. And then Abdullah's like, wait, you don't understand what's happening here. Like, the devil's come to Savo. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm aware because I am the devil.
Yeah, he's a real cool character, I think.
And so, yeah, he meets everybody and then starts telling John how he's going to handle the lines and how long it'll take probably. And he's like, that's all I'm here to do. I don't care about your fucking job. I don't care about the bridge. Like, this is all dumb to me. But when Remington hunts lions, he uses a tribe to help him. They're called the Maasai, I think it was. Yeah. So, yeah, and to get their help, it's going to cost everybody like 5 head of cattle or something. I forgot what he said exactly. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, pay him in cows, which is awesome because it's steak. So yeah, then they all sit around a fire. Oh no! Before that, Remington goes around the camp, then goes to the hospital, and starts fucking bitching out the doctor, saying like, "I mean, you're just setting up a prime buffet right here. All this blood and all this shit sitting around. The lions are probably gonna come in here." And the doctor keeps calling him stupid, and it's like, "Oh well, you're the doctor, and I'm just the hunter, so." Maybe you should stop telling me you don't think I know what I'm doing and just fucking listen. So they build a new hospital overnight. You get another campfire scene where the Maasai are doing their pre-hunt ritual. And it gets revealed that Remington doesn't really like killing, but he does it because he has a gift and he doesn't want to waste it. And then John does the stupidest fucking thing you could ever fucking do. He takes somebody else's gun because they're like, oh, this is stronger. You should take it with you instead of your own gun that you know how to work on the hunt because I can't go. So here, let me go in spirit. Take my gun.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb.
Really silly thing to do. And it almost gets him killed.
And while this is happening, Samuel's just looking at him like, you dumb fuck, what are you doing? And then Remington takes part in the ritual. He drinks the cow's blood, and you get another cool little shot of that mirrors John and Mahina staring at each other, kind of.
Yeah.
So then they proceed to the hunt. Remington found one of the lions. They're going after him, and yeah. I like the whole build-up of that scene, too. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's very good.
You get
Very
the,
well
the
done.
silence of them creeping up, and then when they all start making noise to try to freak out the lion and make it panic so it doesn't know where to go. And a zebra scares John, so he like freaks out, and it turns out the lion's right behind him. Goes to pull the trigger. Gun doesn't fire.
Misfire. That happens with George. Sometimes he'll just stare at me, and I'll try to shoot him with water, and it misfires.
And I like how they shoot that scene too, because it clicks, and then that just goes like slow motion in his head, like you'd assume it'd be if you were in that situation yourself. Like everything just slows down, and you're about to fucking die.
Yeah.
And then you hear that screaming audio.
Yeah, as he's looking into the eyes of the lion and sees fucking madness, basically.
And
that
then,
shit's crazy, man.
Then everyone else sees the lion, and he's like, fucking shoot him. What are you doing just standing there?
Yeah, Michael Douglas is just like, shoot him, shoot him. Shoot him, goddammit. And then he doesn't.
And then they all tell him what happened. He's like, Samuel's like, that's the doctor's gun. He fucked this up.
Classic doctor behavior, dude.
Then the Messiah tell Remington, like, yo, we're out. These aren't normal lions. We're not fucking with this shit.
Yeah.
We're not about to get some evil spirits haunting us. And then you get another voiceover with Samuel, like, describing the lions and how everyone feels about them or what they think they are. Like, some people were saying they're the spirits of dead medicine men. But Samuel thinks they're just evil. And the line is like, in what better place for evil to live than in Savo? Because the literal translation of Savo is a place of slaughter.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So then after that failed hunt, John Remington posts up in the old hospital, and they surround it with cow's blood and all this meat and shit.
And yeah, this part's crazy too.
And they're just trying to trick the lions into coming where they want. But the lions are not stupid. They mess with them for a little bit, and then they realize they wandered off to the new hospital, which is probably the best scene in the entire movie as far as the lions go.
Yeah,
they fucking shred everybody in that hospital,
including the doctor, because he runs in there to try to help them.
It's like, that's my hospital. I gotta protect them.
Yeah, I don't think he did a good job.
Nope, they got everybody.
Considered.
They got everybody. And again, they didn't eat them. They're just fucking killing them. And I want to know how well those lions were trained.
I think they were trained pretty well. Like, you talking about in real life? Yeah. They probably were. They had to have been.
Yeah, considering how much they were around. So then everyone's all defeated, and you get a sad little montage of scenes where everyone's leaving on the train, and John's just walking in an empty construction site area, camp or whatever, all depressed, and it's like, Remington's like, you know, it would have been a beautiful bridge. I got up and looked at it this morning and was like, huh, that ain't so bad. And then he's like, I saw some prints. You want to go check it out? So they go off by themselves to go track the lions. And on the way there, Remington tells John the story of like bullies in his town, of how one was bad, another was worse, and the last one, he was a nightmare. But if they were all together, then that was a fucking huge disaster.
Yeah.
And it's like, John was like, okay, well, what happened to them? He's like, I got bigger. So he fucked them up, basically.
Yeah. That's a good little story from him, too. Again, the character development's really good through the dialogue, I think. I like it a lot. I think it's well done, even.
Yep. And then they find the cave that the prince led to, so they go in all sneak-like, stealth mode. And as they're walking, they're just being super cautious because they don't know if they're in there or not. But then you get another great shot of the movie where they realize they're stepping on a bunch of shit and look down and it's just bones, humans, animals, just tons and tons and tons of bones. And they're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are they're just doing this for the pleasure?
Literal serial killers. Yeah.
And just like, no lions have ever had a lair like this. Like, what the hell? So then John devises another plan to sit on this fucking thin board tree stand kind of thing. And he's like, oh, I don't know how to make this support two people. And he's like, you don't, because I'm not going to sit on that thing with you. So Remington goes and sits in a tree while John sits on this thing. Then they get a baboon because apparently lions hate the sounds of baboons. But they forget at this point these lions don't give a fuck about anything. So the trapped baboon gets eaten. And the lion does his thing and attacks and blah, blah, blah. John almost gets got, but Remington shoots the lion and boom, one down. The 2v2 has become a 2v1. So then John, Remington, and Samuel get drunk and they all have fun. It's another great campfire scene. They hear the lion screaming in the background and he's like, yep, he's just like one of those bullies now. He's alone for the first time and he's scared.
I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. I felt a little bad for that lion. I love lions. I love cats, so it made me a little sad to hear my boy upset, looking for his brother, probably.
Yeah. And so they have some more little like heart-to-heart conversations, and then before Remington goes to bed, he's like, when you hold your son for the first time, you hold him high. And then
like in The Lion King, that's explicitly what he says, like in The Lion King.
Yeah, like in The Lion King.
That's what he says.
And then they go to bed, and then you get another scene where it looks like everything's better because the lion's dead, everyone's back, construction's getting underway. And then, oh, look, it's John's wife. She came to visit, just like she said. And turns out it was a boy. So he's running over there to go see her. And then what does he see in the grass? The lion. And that thing is running like a fucking football player at that woman.
It's angry, brother.
He's like, I get a meal and a snack? Awesome. So then the lion jumps her and just fucking mauls her face, and she's screaming while it's chewing on her, and the baby's crying, and then John wakes up. Yeah, it was a dream.
It was all a dream.
Can you imagine if it wasn't?
I would have been mad that it wasn't fucking Tom Wilkinson's Beaumont. I was mad that it wasn't Beaumont.
Then it wouldn't have been a nightmare.
Yeah, that's true.
So John's all hungover. He goes to puke, and then he looks over and sees that Remington's tent is all fucked up. Lion came for revenge in the night. So now it's on the level playing field. Remington got slaughtered.
Yep. And Samuel finds his body, covers him up. They cremate him. And he's like, I'm going to kill this fucking...
It's like, I'm going to sort it out. He's just blasting his gun into the air, calling out the lion. Then they have their little face-off, each getting a hit in, but ultimately, of course, lion goes dead.
Yep. And that's a real cool scene, too. Another thing that I forgot to mention is during that baboon scene, when you get the lion's, like, black and white night vision, that's just pitch black. Like, that's all I could fucking think of.
Oh, yeah.
Which this came out before Pitch Black, but it's that same idea, except in Pitch Black, it's echolocation, but, same idea.
But yeah, this lion took like 2 or 3 shots to take down.
He was angry.
Because he got shot once with the pistol, he got shot twice with the rifle. Right in the face.
And then he finally died. Poor
Everyone
lion.
comes back, the bridge gets built. John holds his son high. And then Samuel tells you, if you want to see the lions, they're on display at the Chicago Field Museum.
And they still are.
Yeah, life goal to go see them. And then it's like he says, even to this day, if you still look them in the eyes, you'll still be afraid.
Yeah.
So I want to test that.
So it's As far as what actually happened, I know Charles Remington didn't exist. He's not a real person. But Patterson was, and he's the one that wrote the book about the lions.
Called the Man-Eaters of Savo.
Yeah, he estimates that like they killed like over 130 people, but more conservative estimates by like wildlife researchers think it was more around 30 or 40, which is still a lot. But obviously no one's ever going to know. But like I said, no one really knows why these two lions, which in that part of Africa, they're maneless. So even though they're male lions, they don't have any. I think they were male lions. I'm pretty sure
male,
they were.
yeah, but they didn't have full manes.
But they didn't have full manes because of the type of lion they were. And there's a couple of different theories. One of them is that one of the lions had a chipped tooth, and they're thinking that they couldn't hunt prey normally. So they were just doing a buddy system thing to try to, but they didn't eat. That's the thing, is they didn't do it for food. That's the crazy part. The other idea is that the lions would have the bodies of slaves would go up the river, and the lions would eat that, and so they got used to the taste of human flesh, and then it went from there. But like so like those are the two main theories that I saw. But Patterson's the one that killed both lions in real life. Their skulls are on display at that museum, as well as models of them. So pretty cool. But I mean, with big animals like this, it's always weird because lions don't typically eat people unless they're starving and there's nothing else, because they don't know what we are. So it's not so much fear as it is just get away from me type thing. Because I don't know you, I'm not going to eat you, whatever, leave me alone. So they don't really eat people. It's like wolves are the same way. Wolves don't really attack people. Wolves, which is why Frozen by Adam Green pisses me off, because wolves are not like that. Wolves would not fucking bother you. If you fell and broke your legs, wolves would be like, all right.
Oh, like The Grey? You don't like that movie?
No.
Well,
So they'd probably eat you after you were dead, but they wouldn't kill you. That's not how wolves operate typically. Unless they're famished, then they'll attack people, but that's very rare. Bears are a wild card though. Those fuckers will kill you.
Oh, polar bears are guaranteed.
Polar bears especially, they're psychopaths. But like brown bears and black bears will kill you just because you're on their territory. Brown bears will do the same thing, but they're a lot scarier because they're giant. Like, brown bears are huge, dude. They're fucking gigantic. But, lions and tigers are also very territorial.
Yeah.
Tigers are super territorial, so they'll attack you. They won't necessarily do it for food. They'll just attack you because they'll see you as a threat. Cheetahs are pretty docile from what I know. That's why if you're going to have a big cat as a pet, it's a cheetah. Because cheetahs meow like cats, and they act like cats for the most part.
Fuck that, I want a tiger.
You just got to give them meat. But, I don't know. But that's the thing. You could raise a tiger from when it's a cub. But if you don't raise it the proper way and feed it what it needs to be fed and let it hunt, it's going to kill you. Like, that's probably what's going to end up happening. Because you got to understand, these are animals that are significantly stronger than you are. Even little cats here, like my little boy George, who's in my lap right now, even he is literally designed to be nothing more than a killing machine.
Yeah, it's like I gave Rex a bath the other day. He fucking bit my finger almost through to the bone.
Like George is a killing machine, and he proves that by killing crickets and roaches like it's nothing. My little boy Luigi in the house, he's a murderer. He's a sociopath. But Luigi will fucking torture those roaches. Like he'll leave their corpses strewn across the room, and she's just torturing them. That's what he does.
That was like our cat Tigger. He tore the legs off a lizard and just left it there.
Cats are killing machines, man, and that's the thing is like house cats are cute, they're adorable, they're gonna bite you, and it ain't gonna hurt because they're little house kitties, they're little babies.
Oh, but if a cat wanted to fuck you up, it would.
Oh yeah, they can hurt you if they need to, but that's the thing is big cats especially can rip you apart like it's nothing.
They can hurt you just by licking you.
Yeah, and that's the thing is what was the line that he said? They licked off his skin.
Yeah, so they could drink their blood.
So they could drink their blood, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. But that's little kitty. But I love cats. I love cats so much. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was some spiritual thing because it is kind of odd that they didn't start attacking people until John Patterson showed up. So maybe, who knows? Maybe they were infected by the spirit, by demons or some shit, you know? Maybe they were born out of their environment in a weird, scientifically explainable way. Who knows? But the fact that this actually happened is fucking crazy.
And this is not the only kind of thing like this to happen, because then you got fucking Gustav the crocodile or whatever.
They killed like 100 and something.
Estimated 200, 300 people.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was last seen in 21, and no one's seen him since.
What a good boy. I love crocodiles. They're great. I just want to give them all a hug.
I've watched so many crocodile documentaries.
Oh, speaking of, well, there's more alligators, but speaking of alligators, Crawl 2 is going to happen.
Why?
I don't know. But
I mean,
Alexandre Aja is back directing it, so...
I mean, I love the first one, but I don't see why they need a 2. Or how a 2 would work.
Yeah, don't ask me.
Because that movie was very situational.
Don't ask me, brother. All I did was I read it, and I was like, well, that's cool. Justin will probably be happy about that. So here we are. Is Justin happy about it? Let's ask him. Justin, are you happy about it?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's like, I like dumb animal movies, but come on, The Meg 2 sucked.
Well, yeah, but Jason Statham's in it.
Yeah, that's why it's fun, but it still wasn't that great.
That's fair. But yeah, so... What else is there to say about this one?
And then what? Lake Placid 1 and 2 are the only good ones. All the other sequels are terrible.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. What was I going to say? I guess before we can get into reviews, we can have a little certified sidetrack segment.
Yo, sidetrack that segment.
What have I watched since the last time?
I watched Feast 2 Sloppy Seconds.
What a name.
What a stupid fucking movie. Like,
what a name.
The whole point of this one is the biker gang of girls are seeking revenge for their friend that got killed in the first one. And it's just dumb. So fucking dumb. At one point, they're on the roof trying to avoid the monsters. And they got, what's the actor who played fucking... No, not that one. I don't remember what the fucking this dude's name is. It's the little guy. I think he was the one in fucking Austin Powers.
No, I don't know.
No, it wasn't him. It was a different one. Anyways, they decide to build a catapult out of the women's clothing, so they're like naked for the last 20 minutes of the movie, and it's just stupid. They launch him on the catapult and he falls, and then the monsters eat him, and then. There's this one part, they hear a baby crying in the car, so this dude rushes down to go get it. But as he's running from the monsters, he realizes he's not going to get away carrying the baby. So he's like, I'm sorry. And he throws it up into the air. And it just falls to the ground and splatters. And the monster yanks it and they start eating it. And then to reproduce, one of the monsters fucks a cat. And it was just a very awkward scene. And I don't know how that dude in that costume felt whilst filming that, but I hope not good.
Probably not well, yeah.
But it was dumb. It's such a dumb movie.
Well, anyway, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I don't know why it's getting so much negative reviews.
Because everyone just wants to hate shit now.
But I thought it was fun. I thought I had a good time with it. I'll wait till Justin sees it to talk about it, but I had a good time with it. I also got really high on Friday and watched Ice Cream Man with some friends. Still not great. And then I watched The Lost Boys. Also very high. So I remember like bits of it because I remember enough of it to know I liked it. But I don't remember a lot of it, if I'm being honest. I was very high. But yeah, so that's what I did. I've just been playing Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Lara Croft is really hot. I don't know. She's got nice arms in that game. She's they're toned because she's been climbing so much.
Yep.
I just want some info on the new one, so I can know when it's coming out, so I can buy it day one.
They should use lean beef patty as a motion capture
They
body.
They might.
Can
I
you
don't think she's
imagine
tall
that?
enough. I think she's like 5'3", dude. Lara Croft is tall. Lara Croft's like 5'10", at least.
Can I have a shorter Laura?
Wow.
Lara, whatever.
Speaking of Lara, did you know Angelina Jolie had to wear like a padded bra in
Yes.
in Lara Croft?
Her boobs aren't that big.
That's
Because when I rewatched it like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, those aren't her boobs.
Why
She's
not
wearing
just-
something.
why not just cast somebody with some fucking honkers? That's what I'm saying. If you want to go for that, Lara, there are actresses that probably could have.
But could they have acted as well as she did? No.
Probably, depending on who it is. Probably.
Yeah.
So we got the Lara Croft.
At least they didn't do that in the sequel.
Yeah, that's true. But we got the Lara Croft anime coming out on Netflix, and that's supposed to bridge the gap between Shadow of the Tomb Raider and the new game.
Well, supposedly there's an Evil Dead animated show coming out.
There
too.
is, and Bruce Campbell said he was going to be in it, so that's awesome. There's an unrelated Amazon live-action TV show about Tomb Raider, and Melissa Barrera is apparently rumored to be Lara Croft, and if that happened, I'd probably die. I don't think I'd be able to handle that, but I'd watch it anyway.
I'm gonna look up AI art of her.
Because I love Melissa. Don't. Because I love Melissa Barrera. And seeing her do a British accent might put me into a coma, but that's besides the point. So that's cool, I guess. Yeah. And an animated Evil Dead show. I'm assuming it's going to be a continuation of Ash vs. Evil Dead, I'm assuming. I don't know. Alien Romulus is coming out soon.
Yeah, that's true.
That's cool. Can't wait to see that maybe. I haven't willfully watched any trailers. I've seen trailers when I'm going to see a
They're
movie.
showing too much, so I'm not looking at the trailers anymore.
So, but like if it plays before a movie, I'm obviously seeing it. I do like the little touch in the trailer I've been seeing at the theater where it's like in space, no one can hear you, and then all the sound goes away and you just see everybody screaming, and I'm like, that's how you make a trailer. That's really good. That's really good. But yeah, I don't want to say I'm excited for it, but I'm cautiously optimistic. If Fede Alvarez can pull out another Evil Dead 2013, no Jane Levy though, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, anything should be better than Covenant.
Yeah. We'll see.
What a disappointment. They had so many good actors in that movie too.
Yeah, like Michael Aspender. But yeah, it's we'll see what happens.
My mom was watching Aliens last night.
I hope I like it. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry.
Aliens is good.
Listen,
It's better
been a-
than the first one.
it's been a long time since I've watched Aliens, but I know I like the first one more. Did you watch it in 4K?
I haven't seen it in 4K. I only have
Don't.
the Blu-ray.
Dude, keep the Blu-ray. Because I'll tell you why. James Cameron really likes using AI to upscale the movies that he's made, and they look like shit. Like True Lies, Arnold Schwarzenegger literally looks like a goddamn wax figure, which he already did in like the Blu-ray release of Predator because they did all the digital noise reduction, and it looks like shit, and I hate it. And that's why I like the 4K of Predator,
Oh, yeah, the
because you
4K
get the
looks
film
great.
grain, and it looks fucking amazing. It looks great.
Predator 2 looks great too.
Predator, yeah, all of them look really good. But so with whatchamacallit, with True Lies and then with Aliens, he used AI. So it looks bad, dude. Like, first of all, there's no film grain, which I don't listen. I know it's a preference thing, but I don't understand how you'll watch a movie that was shot on film and not want to see any film grain, because film grain adds to the texture of the movie, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, movies can be like a beat up. Like, if you watch a beat up scan of a movie, like I have a copy of White Zombie. Shout out Gold Ninja Video. I got a copy of White Zombie that was from a 1080p scan of a beat up 16 millimeter like library copy of White Zombie, and it's like missing dialogue. There's like weird cuts. and it looks like a fucking like. It looks like it's been raked through the ground, but it adds so much to that movie because White Zombie is such an atmospheric movie. And, like, I liked it as much as I did because it looked so beat up. Like, there's a shot where, like, Bela Lugosi's eyes, like, fade into the frame, and it looks like a fucking, like... It looks like I'm watching, like, a ghost relive a memory, if that makes sense. Like, it adds so much, like... It adds so much texture and character to the movie. So I don't understand why you don't like film grain. American Werewolf in London in 4K looks amazing, and I think the film grain is part of why it looks amazing.
I still need to get that one.
And
dog folders.
But James Cameron has never liked film grain. Even like the Blu-ray releases of his movies like Terminator and Aliens, he used digital noise reduction because he doesn't like film grain. I don't know why, but he's taken it a step further with the new release of Terminator that's coming out soon. Aliens, True Lies, The Abyss, where he's using AI to upscale everything to 4K. So it's still a 2K transfer, which means when they scanned the negative into the computer, they scanned it in at 1080p. And then he uses AI from there to upscale that 2K scan to 4K. And I'm like, well, why don't you just fucking scan in the negative in 4K? I don't understand the thought process. Is it to save money? Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? So... I don't know. It angers me personally because, like, Terminator 2, I know you said you don't mind how it looks in 4K. I don't like how Terminator 2 looks on 4K, and that's not even anything James Cameron touched. So I fear the day that James Cameron decides to retouch Terminator 2 in 4K and just slathers it in AI. When I rewatch Terminator 2, I just watch the old fucking DVD copy that I have that's from a 1080p master. And that's just how I watch it because... I don't like the color correction they've added. I don't like the lack of film grain, which there's not really any film grain on the DVD release either. But, like, at least it still feels like the Terminator 2 I grew up watching. You know what I mean? And that might just be a me wearing, you know, nostalgia goggles. And I'm like, I want to see the movie how I remember it type thing. But, like, there's a way to make a movie look transformative in 4K. And for some reason, James Cameron is picking the worst way to do that with AI. And I just think that sucks, personally. So if I were you, I wouldn't buy a 4K copy of Aliens. I know my buddy did, and he said he watched it, and it's not that bad. Like it's stuff that's mainly in the background that you have to, like, look for, but it's still there. You know what I mean? And I just don't... I don't understand. Because, like, the cool thing about 4K Blu-rays is you can watch... It's like the closest you're going to get to watching, like, a 35 millimeter reel of a movie that you like a lot. It's the closest you're ever going to get because you can get such insane fidelity from it. And especially with film grain, if you have an OLED TV like me and Justin do, incredible, dude. Movies look amazing on there.
Yep.
And it bothers me when you do post-processing shit to it that takes away from that. I want to see Aliens with all the film grain and all the practical effects untouched. I don't give a fuck if I see a wire. I don't give a fuck if I see a fucking squib cap.
That's what I appreciate about Jurassic Park 4K. They didn't touch any of that.
They didn't exactly. They didn't touch it.
It looks so fucking good still, though.
And that's what's great. And I like shit like that. But for some fucking reason, some directors can't leave well enough alone. And, like, I know people give George Lucas shit because he did what he did with the Star Wars special editions. But, like, what James Cameron's doing feels more egregious to me because it's like, at least they looked good when George Lucas fucked with his movies.
I mean, I can't even say I've never seen the original.
I mean, I own them on VHS, but, like, it's just funny. I don't know. Like, it's not that big of a fucking deal. Like, when it comes to Star Wars, for me personally,
yeah.
Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite anyway, is pretty much virtually untouched anyway. But, like, New Hope, they add some stuff here and there. Return of the Jedi adds that weird fucking music number with the... whatever the fuck it is.
That roach is screaming his lungs out.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit. That's in the Return of the... That's only in the special edition. In the theatrical cut, none of that shit happens. I think it's just like a regular, like, band that's playing. None of that weird shit happens in the theatrical version. But, you know, at least it looks good. Like, the Blu-rays I have of all 6 movies look good. Like, they look nice.
I need to get physical copies of the other 6 because I have the sequel trilogy.
I've been meaning to get Force Awakens and Last Jedi in 4K, but I never do. I see Last Jedi almost every time I go to Half Price Books, and I almost buy it every time, but they want like $25 for it, and I'm like, I'm not paying that much for a fucking Star Wars movie.
I don't have a 4K of Force Awakens, so.
But one thing I will say, one thing I was happy about it when I rewatched the Indiana Jones trilogy, because I have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on Blu-ray, but I don't like that movie enough to buy it in 4K. But I bought Raiders, Temple, and Last Crusade all on 4K, and those movies look great because Steven Spielberg lovingly remastered them. Whether it was the studio or Steven Spielberg, whoever did it, I want to kiss them on the mouth because they did such a good job. But yeah, I don't know. I like 4K movies, but I just think what James Cameron's doing is antithetical to the purpose of high fidelity. You know what I mean? Like,
well, like Starship Troopers looks great.
Yeah, Starship Troopers looks fucking amazing. RoboCop looks fucking amazing. Showgirls looks fucking incredible if we're talking Verhoeven. Showgirls looks amazing. Showgirls looks stupid good. Showgirls looks so good that it's gross. Like, that's how good it looks, dude. It is shiny. It is sweaty. It's trashy. I fucking love I love Paul Verhoeven, but I really like Showgirls. Forgive me. But, yeah, so I don't know. I hope James Cameron wises up at some point, but he has complete control over his movies, and he's deep in the Avatar mines right now, so, which I could give a fuck about. People keep saying Way of the Water is amazing.
It's not.
And I'm just like, I'm sure it is, but like, will I remember it?
No.
Like, I saw Twisters, right? I had a fun time in the theater. I'm not gonna remember it in a month. Like, I'm not gonna remember that movie in a month. But I had a fun time in the theater. Daisy Edgar Jones is hot. Glenn Powell's hot. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't go just for the eye candy. But I did. So that's okay. David Corenswet, Superman, is in it for some reason. I didn't know he was in it until I got there. And I was like, that's fucking Superman. Why doesn't he just punch the tornado? I don't know. They're not even in Kansas, though. They're in Oklahoma. It would have been better if they had been in Kansas, but what do I know? Anyway, that was a certified sidetrack segment, unless Justin has anything to add.
Oh, I watched Sinister again. I love that movie.
That's who directed that one?
I don't remember.
Is that James Wan?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure? Did he produce? Hold on, it's gonna fucking bother me if I don't look it
up.
up. Because I know that's the one. That's the one with Ethan Hawke, right? Okay. Yeah. Why did I type in James Wan? I meant to type Sinister. Yeah, that's the one with like the bodies hanging in the. Yeah, okay. And that really cool shot of him in front of the projection screen.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Scott Derrickson. Who the fuck? Why do I know that? Why do I feel like I know there's like, he did The Black Phone, or he produced it, that's right. And he produced a lot of fucking, he directed The Black Phone. And he directed the TV Snowpiercer. He did Doctor Strange, that's why I'm thinking of him. And Hellraiser Inferno, dude. He directed Hellraiser Inferno.
That's my favorite one.
Yo, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking with me. I hate you, dude.
I like that. That's my favorite one.
I hate you so much, dude. Anyway, let's get into the reviews for Ghost of the Darkness. So it did win the Academy Award for Best Sound Editing. Val Kilmer was nominated for the Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actor, which I feel is really shitty. Val Kilmer was fine in that movie.
Yeah.
He was okay. Like, I thought his Irish accent was fine. Fuck off. Funny thing about the Razzies, Halle Berry showed up and accepted her award, and Paul Verhoeven was there the entirety of Showgirls and accepted every award, and he was super happy. I love Paul Verhoeven so much. You don't understand. I love him so much. But anyway. So Rotten Tomatoes says gives Ghost in the Darkness a 50%. The consensus says the Ghost in the Darkness hits its target as a suspenseful adventure, but it falls into a trap of its own making whenever it reaches for supernatural profundity. Are you stupid? What?
Profundity.
You don't like that there's like supernatural elements to it? That's stupid.
What makes it.
That's what makes it. Shut up. Shut up, Rotten Tomatoes. Who the fuck Who wrote that?
That's like saying you hate an anime for being animated.
I'm gonna find whoever wrote it. Hold on a second. Where's my head? Okay, yeah, let's go on IMDb. I'm sorry, I had to fucking answer a work email. Sorry. We're busy people.
Yeah.
We lead busy lives.
So busy, I was able to do like 6 raids in one day
Where we
yesterday.
eat too many fries.
And I'm not proud of that. That was the most annoying time I've ever had because I chose to be a tank. So
Yeah, well, that's
imagine the fun I had.
your problem, brother.
Yeah.
All right, 1-star reviews. Abysmal.
What?
Right off the bat, abysmal. I was amazed when I learned that William Goldman had written the screenplay for The Ghost in the Darkness because it was a pointless movie where nearly every scene lacked even a minimum of intelligence. Val Kilmer goes to Africa to supervise building a bridge. His work camp is tormented by man-eating and apparently supernatural lions, which seem to be invulnerable to bullets and manage to eat hundreds of men. The rest of the movie tries to be a thriller like Jaws, with a super monster terrorizing the locals, and this idea seems promising, but in the end they're apparently just 2 lions after all. Oh, there are 3 great supporting actors, and while they're each wonderful, they're all wasted. The great Indian actor Om Puri manages to imbue some really dumb lines with enough spirit so that they make sense. Brian McCarty is masterful as a missionary, but unfortunately he's killed off after only a few lines. And the tribal chief, who is the most noble character in the whole show, is given some truly awful lines and seems to be the only one aware of what a travesty the film is. I hate to trash a movie because I can usually find something of value in anything, but at the end of this one, I was just annoyed at the waste of talent and resources. No theme, nothing to make you think, not even anything to admire in the filmmaking, just infuriatingly bad dialogue and plot events that make you shake your head in disbelief at their stupidity. Oh well, Justin is sharpening a knife off like over there. He's sharpening. I was going to say off camera. We're not on camera, but Justin's sharpening a knife over there. He's ready to kill this man. So count your days, Keely. If you're still alive, this was written in 2000.
It's okay. This movie just flew over your head. I get it. Like you just can't enjoy anything. Something bad was going on in your life, and you just had to be like, "Fuck this movie."
Speaking of the passage of time, I was watching a review for the new Star Wars Bounty Hunter remaster. And the dude that was talking about it was like, yeah, it's an all right game, but you have to remember, this is still a 22-year-old game. And I usually, like, stuff like that doesn't, like, affect me. But I remember buying Star Wars Bounty Hunter when it came out on my GameCube. And I remember playing it when I was a kid. So when he said 22 years, I was like, fuck, it has been that long, hasn't it? God damn. That is insane. 22 fucking years. And I remember being so excited for that game. And I remember getting it and playing. I never beat it because it was fucking hard. But I remember playing that for those first few levels all the time, man. Man. 22 fucking years.
Yep.
That's crazy. Anyway. Smells, says this guy.
Smells.
Bears the putrid stench of Hollywood sensationalism. Terribly chopped and incoherent. Little resemblance to the original story. Okay, cool, dude.
I think was the point.
Did you know it was a movie, my friend? Did you know it was a movie? That's probably why.
If it was 1-to-1, you would have had a really boring movie on your hands.
Complete waste of time, inept and lousy. Wow, this is a great idea for a movie, but what a train wreck. When movie reviewers talk about a bad screenplay, this movie should be near the top of the list. Acting was almost as bad, and in general, I usually like Val Kilmer and love Michael Douglas. The plot and the screenplay was laughably inept. The bumbling idiots couldn't just dig a pit or something and put a bleeding cow in the bottom of it.
They proved that the cows aren't going to work.
Did you watch the movie? They literally tried that. What are you... what? Okay. All right. Oh, wait, the lions were so smart because they were the ghost in the darkness. Oh, okay, he's just mad that the lions were smart. Fuck off. About halfway through the movie, Michael Douglas appears as, I guess, the Great White Hunter. Ooh, shit. I'm sorry, I made some shit fall, but that's really funny. Like, this is not the movie to fucking pull the white savior angle, brother. This is not the movie for that. Sorry, Michael, you were completely unconvincing. The first scene with him He has this mostly thick southern drawl, which immediately disappears for the rest of the movie. Same with Val Kilmer. He has the trace of a poorly executed English accent in the beginning of the movie, which quickly disappears. Irish. They say his character is Irish. They say he's Irish.
Yeah.
How do you not pay attention that much? They are different things. If you went up to Cillian Murphy and you called him British, he'd kill you. He'd stare you in the eyes and he'd kill you.
You'd explode, just like that cheat in Terminator 3 Redemption.
Exactly.
Achoo!
Sorry. Exactly, Justin. See, you get it.
Which people say is a bad game, and I don't understand whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a lie. There was just one unbelievable scene after another, and my significant other and I were saying, "Dear Lord, please let it end." I know this man is like 50 years old. The lion sneaks into the camp and drags Michael Douglas off, thankfully, near the end of the movie. Wow, dude. Val Kilmer is in the next tent, and of course he doesn't hear a peep. I could go on all night.
They were drunk.
By halfway through the movie, we were rooting hard for the Lions. There were a few cinematography scenes worth seeing, but that it. Should change the category to a disaster flick. Oh, I bet you feel real proud of that joke. Paello 44319. I'm in your walls, bitch. Sorry, I'm no film critic. I just tell the truth as I see it.
Okay.
I'm not going to pretend to be a great judge of films, nor am I going to write some poetic critique about this one. I am easily entertained and have a long list of favorites. This is not one of them. This movie is bad in the way that so many before and after it have been bad. They try entirely way too hard to make the villain worthy of being a villain. What the fuck? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? How do the lions get on the roof? Brother,
have you seen a lion?
do you know how big a fucking lion is?
You know how high they can jump?
You know how high your cat can jump? Like, you know how high a house cat can jump? Imagine that times like 20, and that's what a fucking lion can.
One of our old cats, Cotton, she cleared a whole fucking fence just to get a bird off the top of it.
How do they drag people around like it's nothing? My guy, have you never seen a lion? Do you know what a lion is? Do you think a lion is a cute, cuddly fucking animal that doesn't hurt people? My dude, my man, lions are fucking killing machines. What are you on? Oh my god. This dude watched The Revenant and he's like, "No, that's unrealistic. How could a bear ragdoll Leonardo DiCaprio like that? That doesn't make any sense. I thought bears were cute. You fucking imbecile.
You seen Winnie the Pooh?
You fucking mongrel. What are you? Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm being real mad. I'm real mad about this for some reason. How do 3 guys miss a lion which is 4 feet away from them with several shots each? My guy, did you watch the movie? If you were in that situation, are you telling me you would have kept a calm and level head while this fucking giant killing machine starts breaking the supports of the metal bars between you and certain death? Are you dense? Justin, this man is stupid.
Very.
This man is stupid. What? Whew. Okay. Oh, I almost threw my remote at the television at that point. The film is illogical, and the plot is lacking in every way. Michael Douglas and Tom Wilkinson's characters are over the top, and Val Kilmer is just okay. Had this film received a cumulative 1 through 4, I wouldn't care. The fact that people are calling it a 7 out of 10 makes me feel really sad. I'm sorry. This movie is bad. That's my piece. To finish, I am a big fan of Val Kilmer, Michael Douglas, and Tom Wilkinson. I wanted to like it, and it's unfortunate I couldn't. Okay.
You just chose not to like it.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no. Oh, no. What? Okay. Horrible political views in this film. The fact that this film is based on a true story is not enough to justify its shortcomings and political views. A remake of Jaws in a savannah setting, it pictures white men saving savages from a threat of nature. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that, dude? Nobody calls them savages in the movie.
Yeah, they don't.
You just did that yourself. You just saw a bunch of black and Indian people and decided they were savages.
Even when Beaumont was being an ass, he still said Africans.
Also, not to mention, the people of color in this movie are treated with respect. They're not caricatures. I guess you could argue that maybe the tribe that Remington had with him, maybe you could say that's a caricature, but like this is the late 1800s. Like I don't think that was necessarily it's not like a caricature of it. That's just what they were like. Okay. Let's keep reading this. White men saving savages from a threat of nature and a typical assertion of white supremacist belief. Michael Douglas co-produced this film. What does that have to do with anything, my guy? No doubt historical facts imply that some elements of the plot are true, but those who laughed when the shark jumps onto the boat and shows director-willed knowledge of the plans made to kill it will enjoy the broken wood, the not close to impossible action scenes, the superhuman knowledge of animals, hysterically funny. Dude, animals are pretty fucking smart. I don't know what you're on, but okay.
Haven't you heard the saying, an elephant never forgets?
The ideological and political stand is much more disturbing. We only saw worse with fascist and pro-colonization Tarzan, featuring the natural ability of white men to lead and bring order and civilization, as was the idea of Edgar Rice Burroughs and so many of his contemporaries back before World War I and II. There is no bitterness or questioning in the characters. Triumphant white Anglo-Saxon Protestants whose reason, courage, and belief in their supremacy are eventually portrayed against the weakness of blacks, Muslims, and Indians, and helps build the bridge, symbol of European civilization. Do you have a white hood hidden somewhere under your bed, Mr. Douglas? First of all, there's some stupid-ass white people in this movie. Tom Wilkinson, Beaumont being a prime example, but also the doctor's stupid ass for running in there and getting himself killed. Also, that isn't why Patterson wanted to build a bridge. Patterson wanted to build a bridge to bring people together, and I understand the politics at the time are fuzzy, but that was his personal belief to it. Obviously, his employer was more like, "Oh, we want to, colonize Africa."
Yeah, that's why.
That was his whole purpose.
That was one of the doctor's lines too, saying it's only built to protect the ivory trade and keep the rich richer.
How are you gonna say? Did you not watch the movie? How are you gonna say all that shit when like the movie itself deconstructs the ideas that you're trying to say that it's perpetuating? Some people, Justin, I feel like some people just want to be mad.
Yep.
And then they give people like me, who are very left-leaning, a bad name. And this is the problem, because, no, dude, like, I was looking for that shit too, because I was worried about it, because it's a mid-90s movie. But no, it was pretty politically sound from what I could tell. But I don't know, I'm Mexican, so what do I know, right? I don't know. Epitome of white peopling. Here we go again.
White people.
I'm guessing somebody let their wife produce this one. Cringe and cheese score and story. Bad cheap effects like a B movie, brother. Bad. Those effects were. Whew, okay.
Even the digital line effects were good.
Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas were great as always, but even their megastar wattage couldn't make this good or interesting. And here we go again. White savior garbage. Why were 90s producers so unbelievably stupid and tone deaf? What kind of trust fund trash out of touch morons made such a boring, insensitive pile of garbage?
Insensitive.
Okay, the cinematography was great and the stars were perfect as always, but the movie still sucks. The fact that you didn't make any points tells me everything I need to know.
I thought you weren't done reading. Is that literally the end?
That's it. Yeah, dude, that's it. I'm clicking on it, and it's just like... Are you saying that because... What? I wouldn't call this a white savior movie. Like, they all work together for the most part. Also, there's nobody to save by the end of the fucking movie because everybody leaves. What? What?
And past a certain point, it just becomes personal for John to kill the lions.
Yeah, it really does. It becomes, especially after Remington dies, yeah, so... Oh, I was going to look to see if Jacob John Taylor...
Oh, and there was that other good line that Michael Douglas said. He's like, I think this idea of yours is going to work because I think those lions are after you. Like, they want you dead.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Which is, a testament to the fact that it's a white man in an African country trying to basically be an arm of colonization, and nature's literally fighting back against it. I don't think the movie is trying to say that Patterson was in the right. I don't think that's what it was trying to do.
No.
Like, Patterson was, it's just telling a story of what happened. I don't understand. Yeah. Also, if that was the case, you wouldn't have that bit where the guy's telling him, like, of course you're white, you know. You could do anything. Like, that's the point of that scene. And then him saying, like, we're in this together, okay? We're working together, right? And then also he calls him out by saying, you're just worried about your job. Like, and Patterson doesn't deny that. So it's like, you know, I don't... watch media literacy. Jesus Christ. It's not that hard, dude. Okay, Jacob John Taylor, save us. Save us from these morons, please.
This movie was scarier than...
I'm hoping he's here so we could say that. I need something, man.
How are you going to call it a Jaws ripoff when Jaws is fictional and this is based on something that happened?
Ironically, that's how the movie was pitched, as a cross between Lawrence of Arabia and Jaws. And I can see the Jaws comparisons, but, like, it's not the crux. I don't know. Anyway, that's the movie.
You want a stupid, smart movie? Jaws the Revenge. How does the shark know that it's killing the Brody family? Someone explain that to me. And then you can call this movie illogical for having smart lines.
I mean, cats are smart, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Cats remember shit. They're not stupid.
Have you seen Cats and Dogs? Cats are smart.
Yeah, they have the whole fucking facility and all that shit.
Tobey Maguire? He's a beagle, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, that's the movie. Next time we're talking about Scream 6.
Scream 6, more like this movie's gonna suck some...
It's real. I like Scream 6 a lot. Yeah, I like Scream 6 a lot.
I guess we'll find out how I feel about it.
I mean, if you liked the brutality of Scream 5, I think Scream 6 is significantly more brutal.
I might watch Wrong Turn when I go home.
What a man. Okay, so speaking of wrong turns, Justin's going to be picking the next franchise after we do my next one-off.
Leprechaun. No.
After I do my next one-off, which I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be another foreign film. Most of my one-offs are going to be foreign films. I'm just going to say that up front. But
yeah, you cover that, and I'll cover the American shit.
yeah, you'll cover the fucking slop. But no, I'm gonna run out of foreign films soon enough though, because I don't have like I don't have that many. But yeah, we'll get to it, you know. But I already know what it's gonna be.
I don't know what franchise I'm gonna pick.
Pretty sure I've already mentioned it before, but I'll talk about it next time. But yeah, that's our show. Follow us on Facebook. Justin doesn't really post a lot, but he lets you know when new episodes are coming.
Yeah, I post for that. I don't know what else to write on there. Like what? Hey, I'm streaming. Come watch.
Talk about your feet, brother. I don't know.
None.
Feet sells. But who's buying, huh? You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
I thought the same thing.
But
Fucking
no.
Megadeth.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook. Justin will let you know when a new episode's coming out.
Yep.
And if there's a delay,
Yep.
sometimes he lets you know.
If I remember.
Sometimes.
If I'm not
If
tired.
he remembers. But yeah, so follow us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts from. We still don't have a camera set up because I don't know.
We're broke and
We're
busy.
broke and trying to buy houses. You know,
Life.
typical boy summer shit.
Summer's over. Back to school.
Hell yeah.
Not for us though.
Hell yeah.
Fuck school.
Hell yeah.
No, there's brief moments where I miss it, but then I'm like, why?
I don't. But yeah, so you know, thanks for listening. I'm glad we could be here to talk in your ear or whatever for a little bit.
Yep.
And next time we're talking about Scream 6.
Yay.
So look forward to that. I love Scream 6. Well, I loved it when I saw it initially. I'm hoping that it still holds up. But we'll see. Scream 5 definitely does. I love the fuck out of Scream 5. So, Scream 6 is up.
I was watching Blackwood Soup play Dead by Daylight, where he made a stream where he had to win as every killer.
I saw that.
He got to Ghostface. He didn't have fun.
No, I can imagine not. Ghostface is a weird killer.
That's one of those games I'll never play, but I'll like enjoy watching people play it.
Well, see, I wasn't gonna play it, and then they put Lara Croft in there, and that ruined my life. So.
I mean, they already had Jill in there, so.
You think I didn't buy her too? Come on. And Ada.
Oh yeah.
And Heather from Silent Hill 3. Come on. Come on. Heather from Silent Hill 3, who's canonically older than 17, because this takes place after Silent Hill 3, so I can think she's hot now. So that's cool. That's all cool. So it's great. But yeah, so yeah, Scream 6 next time, and then we'll talk about the next one off, and then Justin will pick his next franchise, and then I think I know what I'm gonna pick for the next franchise after Justin does his, because I want to do it.
Boing.
So we'll think about it. But anyway, okay, just watch horror movies. Don't buy Aliens in 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, watch it on Hulu. It's free right now. They got all. Well, Hulu's not free, but you can watch all the Alien movies on there.
Hell yeah, dude.
And in case anyone's wondering, it goes Aliens, Alien Resurrection, Alien 3.
Where's Alien?
Number 2.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Alien Resurrection like as a whole.
And then Prometheus and Covenant.
I think I like Alien the most. I need to rewatch them. But if I'm going off of my last watch, it would probably be Alien, the assembly cut of Alien 3, and then Aliens and Resurrection. It's probably how it would go for me, I think. But it's been a while. It's been a while since I've watched everything after the first one.
I know someone said it sometime, but are the AVP movies part of the Alien movies, or are they part of the Predator movies?
I think they're both. I'm pretty sure there's references to both.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Prey, anyway.
Yeah, Prey's good.
So, I'll...
unless you hate women.
Yeah, unless you hate women in a fictional film about a fucking space hunter. Loser. Anyway, so... anyway, we'll see you next time when we talk about Scream
I'll just pick
6.
Predator. I'll just pick Predator as the next franchise. So we can talk about that.
Fuck it. Do it. I don't care. Let's do it. Shit. Anyway, all right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to sleep and all that.